with the Chicago Sky, all of these clubs, to talk to them and say, look, if you know the Indiana Fever are on your schedule, you need an arena with 15,000 fans, at least. Like, try to find some kind of an option, because you're doing a disservice to the WNBA, which supposedly keeps saying they want to turn a profit. These players keep saying they want to turn a profit, but the actions are something else. All right? Even now, when you look at the WNBA social media feed, Caitlin Clark would be all over that son of a bitch.
Caitlin Clark saw it coming a year ago, and now it's finally happening. The Indiana Fever's games against the Chicago Sky are getting a major venue upgrade. The matchups featuring Clark and Angel Reese will now take place at the United Center, marking the first time WNBA games will be played in the NBA's largest arena. But what's even crazier? Clark herself predicted this would happen back in 2024. During the 2024 WNBA season, it became a common trend. Whenever Caitlin Clark and the Fever came to town, teams were forced to change venues to accommodate the massive crowds. With record-breaking ticket sales and a surge in popularity, arenas struggled to meet the demand. Now, as we head into the 2025 WNBA season, history is repeating itself. The Chicago Sky have officially announced that their home games against the Indiana Fever on June 7th and July 27th will be moved to the United Center, the home of the Chicago Bulls. After a Fever vs. Atlanta Dream game. In June 2024, Clark was asked about their upcoming road game against the Chicago Sky. Her response?
It's going to help move the game forward, absolutely. Like, that's amazing. That's what it should be. Like, people could talk about it. I saw the ticket prices. I guess the only thing is, like, I'm surprised we're not playing at the United Center. I thought that would have been really good for the game and really good for all the women's basketball fans in Chicago. So maybe there's a conflict of some sort that I don't know about. Obviously, that's a little above my pay grade. But we're excited, one game at a time.
Pay grade, but as it turns out, she was just a year ahead of schedule. The United Center is the largest arena in the NBA, meaning these matchups between Clark and Reese will have the biggest stage possible. This shift is a clear sign of how much the WNBA is growing, with players like Clark bringing an unprecedented level of attention to the league. But these two games in Chicago are just part of the rivalry. The Fever and Sky will meet 5 times in the 2025 season, making this one of the most anticipated matchups of the year. Beyond just the venue change, the Fever vs. Sky rivalry is shaping up to be one of the biggest storylines of the 2025 WNBA season. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have been linked since their college days, when they battled in one of the most watched NCAA championship games ever. Their competition has only grown in intensity since both entered the WNBA. Every matchup between them draws headlines, social media debates, and of course, sold-out crowds. The move to the United Center is just more proof of how much hype surrounds their battles. Fans aren't just watching for Clark and Reese, though. Both teams are young, talented, and building towards championship contention. This venue change isn't just about one rivalry, it's about the entire league. The WNBA is experiencing a massive surge in popularity, and this is a prime example. In 2024, teams like the New York Liberty and Las Vegas Aces had record attendance, and the league saw its highest viewership ever. With players like Clark, Reese, Aja Wilson, and Brianna Stewart becoming household names, the demand for tickets is skyrocketing. So what does this mean for the future? Could we see more teams regularly playing in NBA-sized arenas? The success of these Fever vs. Sky games at the United Center could be a preview of what's next. Now, let's talk about the actual matchups. Both the Fever and Sky have been improving, with young stars developing their games. Clark continues to dominate as one of the best playmakers in the league, while Reese is making an impact as a rebounding and defensive force. Their contrasting playstyles make for an exciting matchup. Clark's deep shooting and passing versus Reese's inside presence and toughness. The Fever's fast-paced offense versus the Sky's physical, defensive-minded approach. With the United Center packed with thousands of fans, expect an electric atmosphere, and maybe even another viral moment between these two young stars. Caitlin Clark isn't just a rookie sensation, she's reshaping the WNBA. Think about it. Just 1 year into her career, she's already influencing where games are played. That's unheard of. Normally, venue changes are made for championship-level teams or high-profile NBA crossover events. But here we are. Clark's impact is so massive that teams are moving games just to fit the crowds that want to see her play. And it's not just Chicago. During the 2024 season, we saw similar moves in other cities. The Atlanta Dream, New York Liberty, and Las Vegas Aces all saw record-breaking ticket sales when Clark and the Fever came to town. Some teams even had to expand seating arrangements or relocate to larger venues. That level of star power is rare, even in men's sports. But Clark doesn't just bring crowds, she brings excitement. The deep threes, the flashy assists, the buzzer beaters. She plays the game in a way that's entertaining, dynamic, and marketable. That's why so many young fans, especially girls who dream of playing in the WNBA, are showing up to see her live. She's not just a player, she's a movement.